Hello and welcome. This is the course, The Book and Your Purpose. Hi, I'm your topic expert, Michelle Van de Pass, and I welcome you to this course. We're going to really help you dig down and bring out more of your purpose into your message and into the book. You're in the right place. I have a lot of experience. I'm the owner and a partner in 3 different publishing companies, and I've helped hundreds of authors write, design, publish, and market their books. I am the writing and publishing coach for Brian Tracy International and Jack Canfield, and I'm a best-selling author myself. I've also been a TEDx speaker, and I am a coach and a writing coach and a business coach to all kinds of people, politicians, service professionals, entrepreneurs, business people, healthcare practitioners, so many different kinds of people who all want to share their message and bring their writing into a published book. So I'm sure I can help you, and I look forward to it. Let's get started. Okay, this course is for you if you're a nonfiction author with a message or a personal story. So you're in the right place. If you've got knowledge, a process to share, or experience you need to share, or you've had a career with a lot of technical expertise that you bring to the table, and you want to share that knowledge and experience, this is the place for you. It's also the place for you if you haven't finished your book, if you've just started writing your book, or if you just have an idea or a concept, or even just a few notes. So this is an interactive course. I want to talk about the tools you'll need. The first tool you'll need is an attitude of deep personal inquiry. I really want you to feel like you can be in a space where you're tapping into your heart, your intuition, your gut, your mission, your purpose, and stay out of your head a little bit. Writing a book is so much a mental process that we want to also make sure it's a creative process. Gift yourself some time today to fully respond to these exercises and create a distraction-free zone for yourself. So turn off social media, get off of Facebook, turn off your cell phone. If you need to go hide out in your bathroom, do that. Lock your door, whatever you need so that you can have some time and space to go into this process. So that's the tool of your attitude. Then the physical tools you'll need are the handout, pen and pencil, scratch paper, and a place to write. So if you haven't already gotten your handout, it should have been with this course, but there's the link right below. You can go get your handout now. Before we get started, I want to just take a moment and connect. So take a really deep breath and put one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach. Take a deep breath and connect your heart with your intuitive self. And breathe deeply. Put your feet flat on the floor, straight spine, and allow the information from your head to flow down so that you are connecting with all the mental ideas that you have at a deeper level. And if you're not used to doing this sort of intuitive inquiry, just trust that it will come. It will come through your writing. If you've done any writing at all, you know that writing can be very flow and free form and intuitive when you're in the zone. And that's the zone we want to get into. So take another deep breath. Let it out. Connect your heart with your gut. Ground yourself through your feet and allow your inspiration to flow all the way through your body. Anytime you get stuck during this course, Just take a deep breath and remind yourself everything you need, all the answers are readily available to you, whether they come in the moment or come during your sleep or come while you're taking a walk or a shower, they will come to you. When you're ready, you can shake it out a little bit and open your eyes if you had them closed. All right, we're going to explore some crucial areas in this course, aligning your purpose with your book. So let's talk about the key areas. There's 5 areas that are crucial to aligning your purpose with your book. Key area number 1 is, what is purpose? We're going to go through, what is your purpose? Key area number 2, how do you get to your core message? So how do you use your purpose to help you really understand the core message? And then how do you bring that to the people who need your book? So who needs your book? Then number 4, how do you align your message and your book so that they have the same mission, they have the same purpose? And number 5, what is the purpose of your book? And we're going to explore that. Like, why are you writing this book? We'll go through all of those 5 key areas today. The objectives of this course is to really dig deep to understand your internal purpose and how that aligns with your book. So you will discover your internal motivations, why you're writing this book, how your book can work for you, and we're going to pull it all together in why you even need this course, connecting your purpose to your book. So we want to determine what message that you need to share in the book and ensure the book gets read by the people who need it, and understand how to fulfill your purpose by getting your message out into the world using a book. We're going to cover all those things today because, well, if your book sits in the closet, you know it hasn't fulfilled its purpose or helped you support your purpose. All right, key area number 1. What is purpose? Well, to understand purpose, you first need to realize what it really is. Know how it's expressed in the world. How do you express your purpose in the world? Learn that it has an archetype that supports you. So if you're not really sure what your purpose is or how to connect with your purpose, we're going to talk about connecting in, understanding, identifying is the word I want. How to identify an archetype that will support you in understanding your purpose and how it all relates to the book. So what is purpose? Number 1, you're born with purpose. I really truly believe and know that you're born with a purpose. Purpose isn't something that you have to go find. It's already inside of you, not something that you have to search for. You're already living your purpose. I know you're living your purpose, even if you don't realize it. And it's just your job to become more aware and conscious of your purpose and how to connect with your purpose. So it's important to know this as you go into writing your book and sharing your message. You really want to connect more deeply. And I like to talk about purpose as love. Now, this obviously isn't a romantic love. It is a love that is how you express yourself out into the world. And love, as we know, isn't always all roses and hearts and flowers. Love can be tough love. If you have ever raised children, love looks a lot of different ways. And so love is really how you're expressing yourself, how you share yourself. And we want to pull that into purpose so that we can get that essence into your book so that your book expresses who you are in the way that's most aligned with who you are. The gift or service that you offer is part of your purpose. The gift or service. So you may not think you have a gift, or maybe you're writing the book because you already know that you have a good gift, and maybe you're already really clear on purpose. But how do you write that down? How do you identify that? How do you become the expert so that it's clear in your book that you are here to share this particular gift or service? It is the message that will change people's lives. When you are speaking and writing from this heartfelt place, it will change other people's lives. So how do you connect with this purpose? How can you connect more deeply? If you already know what your purpose is, how do you connect more deeply with it so that it shows up in your writing? Well, number one is notice emotions and activities as you go throughout the day. Just notice the activities when you connect with other people. What does that look like? Think of a time when you've given some advice to someone else. How does that advice come across? Is it as a teacher, a mentor, a parent? Does it come across as a lecture? What form does that take? Is it speaking, writing, interviewing? Does it look like offering suggestions? You will have a natural way that you give advice most often. One way to look at this is how to connect it to an archetype that embodies the energy of the advice giving. So there are 7 archetypes that I like to work with: star, mystic, professor, creator, mechanic, caregiver, and politician. And I'm going to talk about each one of these and how you can use them to help you understand your purpose in how it relates to this book. So in a minute, you're going to go through these archetypes and determine which one of these best reflects how you give advice in the world, or how you would spread your message in the world. And that represents an energy of how you share your love in the world, how you share your message. One of these is probably closer or feels better to you than the others. We go in and out of all of these, but one is more predominant than the other. So as I read through them, think about whether it fits for how you share your love in the world, how you would like to share your message, or how you often give advice. First one is a star. You're a visionary. You like to talk to the masses and talk about the big vision and how to get there. Second is a mystic. You like talking about the journey, and often you're more one-on-one rather than talking to the masses. The next one is professor. Very practical, a love of learning, thoughtful, and you're wise when you give advice. The creator is a visionary as well, often likes sharing creative ideas with the masses, but it is part of the journey, usually big creative outbursts and cycles of full out and then rest. A mechanic is practical, likes to give step by steps, has systems, demonstrations, templates, likes accountability, and likes the big picture, likes to understand where it's going. A caregiver is often also practical, but more one-on-one, gives totally from a healing energy and cares deeply about people or humanity. Not saying, of course, that the other archetypes don't, but predominantly They're caregivers, not necessarily in a professional environment, but just generally in life. They see somebody at the grocery store, that is the first way that they think of the people, is how can I help, or how can I help heal. And the last one's the politician, again a visionary, likes to work with the masses, brings people together, good networking, talks about connections and how to connect people and systems and things, knows people well. And so, are you a natural networker? Okay, pause the video now and think which one of these is the way that you most often share your love and your message out into the world. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that quick exercise and it gave you a little bit of insight as to your purpose. If you think about your purpose as one of those archetypes and not as something that you do in the world, but how you are being in the world, it will help you when you write. If you're a caregiver, that does not mean your purpose is to be a nurse. It just means that is the energy, how you express in the world. If you're a mechanic, it doesn't mean that you're out there building things. It means that you express through systems and steps and ideas that lead to a specific result. When we're talking about purpose, it's important to understand that purpose and passion are two different things. And we can't just follow our passion if it's not connected to the purpose. Passions are often something that is related to a hobby. We don't have to discover our purpose, but we might discover a passion. A passion has to be melded with purpose before we can start writing, so that we have the strategy of how we're going to write the book. So the way I like to describe this is your purpose is the energy that is already inside of you on how you express yourself in the world. Your passion is something that you choose. You can choose to be passionate about a hobby. You can choose to be passionate about your work, and you can choose to be passionate about this book project, or you can choose to say, this book project's going to be a real chore, but I know that I have to do it because it's my next step, right? That doesn't sound very exciting. So bring passion into your project, but don't confuse purpose and passion as being the same thing. Passion is a choice. It can change over time and may or may not be actually related to your purpose. And they are often hobbies or extracurricular activities like dancing or jigsaw puzzles. You can have a passion that comes and goes, but you can bring passion to your work. It's intertwined with purpose. When you have both purpose and passion and your why, which we'll go into in a minute, then it gives you a more fulfilled life and more fulfilled business. So let's talk about how you pull all this together and review for a minute. If you'd like to jot down notes, I encourage you to jot down some thoughts here to pull all this together. Your purpose is inside of you already. You just have to tap into the energy or the default mode that you like to express yourself when working or helping or connecting with others. How you express it is the way that you show your love in the world. If you can connect it to an archetype, it'll help ground this concept for you and give you a way to know when you're connected with your purpose. And your passion and your purpose are intertwined but different. So you can be a natural caregiver and be burned out and no longer have passion for helping other people. You can be a passionate, creative archetype and hold that energy and no longer be passionate about being a creative archetype because you're just burned out, or you have nothing left to give, or you just haven't found the next project, or you're just bored. You can be really passionate about a creative project that you're working on, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a creator archetype or that that's your main purpose in the world. So pause if you would like to write some notes about how you're bringing passion into your purpose, what your purpose archetype might be, and any other notes or thoughts that you have right now. Okay, the next area I want to talk about is how do you get to the core message of your book? Well, you have to assess it from different perspectives. Yours, your purpose, your message, what it is you want to say. Your clients, your readers, who wants to hear what you have to say. And we're going to use a tool that I like to tap into called your envy exercise to see another way to kind of assess how you might find your core message and your purpose for the book. So let's start with the first assessment step, because we're going to go through a whole series of assessments now. Part 1, what are the top 5 things you want your readers to know? Are there 5 steps, 5 takeaways, 5 new ideas, 5 new habits, 5 mindset shifts? So get ready. We're on the next writing opportunity here, and I want you to write down the top 5 things you want your readers to know. Take a minute, connect with your heart and your mind. Keep your purpose in the bottom of your consciousness for a minute and write the 5 things you want your readers to know. Okay, welcome back. So, going through your top 5 things, you've begun the process of assessing what you need to say in your book. It's your perspective that's important. It may be different from what the reader wants to hear, but we'll be working through the process. You may find that your top 5 things might change as you more deeply connect with your purpose, your reader, and your book. Now, what is your story and how will it inspire others? What was your pain? What was your personal transformation and how did you experience a transformation? What wisdom do you want to share with others? Okay, you're going to write. So go ahead and pause the video and write for 5 to 10 minutes about what you want the readers to know most about your story, your pain, your transformation, and how it will inspire others. So now maybe you've gotten in touch a little bit with what your story is and how that can help inspire others. You now understand how it's going to make you feel when you've written your book, and you can ask yourself now, how will I feel when I'm helping others, serving the world through this book? And ask yourself, are you fulfilling your purpose? Now we're going to go into the why. The why is the part that supports you, keeps you headed toward your vision and in alignment with your purpose. It's the piece of your soul that keeps you moving forward. When you're clear on the why, and that might change over time, you're able to sustain your ups and downs of business, of writing, editing, and of course of life. Many of us, our why might be our children, our parents, our family, but then as circumstances change, our why is different and it may become more of a legacy or the mission that you feel like you're on, helping other people. And so now we're going to dig deep into your why. We're going to go for some more writing. So answer these questions about why you do what you do. What made you start on this journey? What are you passionate about? What is your reason for doing what you do? And how can you serve the world, your family, yourself? So pause the video now and write about your why and everything that comes to mind for about the next 10 minutes. Okay, now I want you to review all your responses to all the writing prompts so far. You should have a deeper connection to your personal purpose, why you want to write the book, and understand how it's going to make you feel once you've written the book. So now we're moving on to the second assessment step, identifying your audience. And we can do that through identifying your niche market. Your niche comes from inside of yourself, what you have to offer, what sets you apart. If you identify that, then your clients and readers will naturally be drawn to you. Don't make your niche so narrow that it turns people away, but we want to help you define your niche by finding those that you serve best. So if we're talking about everyone can grow food, your niche market might be people who live in apartments, and how can they go about growing food in their small urban space? Or maybe your niche market is helping those who are disenfranchised or in poverty find new ways to grow food and feed their family. Or perhaps you want to help those who can afford fancy greenhouses learn how to grow more food, help their neighborhoods, or just eat healthier. Of course, if that is your passion, you're able to serve all those markets. So I'm not suggesting that you're going to be excluding any markets. However, if you can get more self-identified with what your own passion is and what is inside of you that makes you different and who you're drawn to, that helps identify your niche so that you can write toward that niche market and they can more closely identify with you. So get ready for the next writing assignment. Answer these questions. Who are the people that are drawn to me and my message? If you have clients now, what are some of the questions that your clients ask you over and over again? And then what wisdom do they say that they get from you? If you don't know, that's a really great question to go ask your clients. What takeaway do you have? What wisdom have I shared? What do you think you've learned from me? And then what are the top 5 things that your clients tell others about you? If you don't have clients, ask in your mind potential people that are going to read your book what you think they're going to say. That'll help you get to the same answers. This is a writing assignment that you could come back to all the time. You might get halfway through this book and discover you need to hone in on this again. Or maybe if you have a business or clients, you can continually come back to this and reevaluate your niche. So go ahead and pause now and write down all the ways in which you can relate and bring something new to your niche market and who you think your niche market is for this book. Okay, now review your responses to all the writing prompts. Are you finding a current theme? Because you'll use this information to help write your book's description and develop marketing materials that speak directly to your readers who will be drawn to the book. The next and third assessment step is what I call the envy exercise, and this is loosely based on an old Julia Cameron exercise, admiration and envy. I want you to choose 3 books you admire. Don't think about it too much. You can go to your bookshelf and see what jumps out at you, but just write down the first 3 books you admire. What authors do you admire? So don't think about this too much, but you're going to write 3 books that you admire, 3 authors you admire, and then the who, what, when, where, why, and how for each of those books and the authors. So an example of that might be you admire someone who's written a book who's on stage all the time, and you admire and envy them because they travel the world spreading their message. Or perhaps you admire someone who's written a book who has their own cooking show on TV. Or maybe it's your neighbor who wrote a cookbook for the local PTA and grows all her own food. So pause right here on this slide so you have these writing prompts. Ready, set, go. Now review your choices. What is the common thread? This will give you a clue as the type of book that you want to write and the purpose of the book moving forward. Will it help you get a cooking show or get speaking engagements on stage? This envy admiration exercise is very useful when you're feeling jealous of other people. What is that message for you about what you're called to do and the book you're being called to write? I want to remind you I've got a bonus. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but how to write your back cover is a bonus that's available to you. That the work that we've just done, all of that will go into writing your back cover. So all these writing prompts and these assessments that you've just done, when you follow the template for writing your back cover, you'll be able to take all of this work and apply it. All right, now you've assessed your internal purpose, the reason people are drawn to you, and the type of book you might want to emulate. That's everything you need to go into the back cover. All right, the next area we're going to cover is who needs your book. There are 134 billion different book titles in the world, and 1 million new books are being published in the U.S. every year. Don't go in overwhelmed with that. You have your own unique voice. You just have to craft your book so your audience needs it. You are different than all of these other people, and your book is different than all these other books. There is room for your book, but you need to understand why they will read it and what they will take away after reading it. The first thing is, why will they read it? Is there a pain point? Usually there's some reason that they're wanting to read your book. They're in some sort of pain. If you are sharing your message, it may be one of inspiration. If we go back to the food analogy and growing your own food, might be that you can't get good organic food at your grocery store, or maybe you don't have enough money to buy food, or you want a different selection, or you're concerned about the food sources. It could be any number of reasons, but you got to go into the pain. What is the problem that you're solving with this? Determine if there's a problem that needs solved. Right, you got to determine that. Imagine what results they may want to achieve. Do they want to have fresh food, cheaper food, more access to food? What is the result that you're going to give them? All right, here's the writing assignment. Okay, this one may take a little bit of time. You might allow anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes, or even longer if you're called to do so. Pause the video right now and capture the pain, the problem, and the results. Now we want to go a little bit deeper into what the reader wants. What will you give them that they're going to take away, your 5 steps? Write it from their point of view. What 5 steps do they want? Describe a process that they're going to follow, or some inspiration or motivation to help them. And this is your next writing assignment. Pause now and write, why will people want to read your book? The steps and processes and the inspiration you can share. Now we're going to create your reader avatar. This is a really cool exercise. It's some visioning to discover who your perfect readers are. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine a room full of people reading your book. Can you imagine them in your mind's eye? Maybe they're at a book club that you're speaking at, or you're doing a book signing at your local bookstore. Feel them in the audience. What do they look like? What are they wearing? What do they have in common? How old are they, male or female? Do they have a combined goal or pain or vision? Okay, you're going to pause here, and in your most vivid imagination, write or draw or paint or color your reader. Make an avatar, make a little character, some character development about who your perfect reader is. Who are those people that are at your book signing? Connect with them energetically, mentally, emotionally, understand who they are. Now, pause for 5 or 10 minutes and go fill out that exercise on your handout. Great. So now you have a better understanding of who needs your book. Go back and review this section. What 3 things did you discover about your readers? And what are the 3 things that you need to tell them in your book? What is the takeaway they really need? There are all kinds of clues in these written exercises that you just did that will guide you to understanding the needs of your book and how to deliver the content that your readers need. So now, how do you align your message and your book? Knowing your purpose guides your vision, which helps develop the core message of your book. And then you connect with your readers so that they can understand your message. So what is your vision? Take a step back and look at the very biggest umbrella that your book fits under. What is the vision for your book, for yourself, for your purpose? What is the vision for you helping others out there in the world? Who are you here to serve? Take a moment and just really connect in with your vision. Now, how does that fit with your message? Your message is more specific. You're taking that big vision and coming in close and getting more detailed about exactly what it is you want to say and who you're saying it to. Consider how you write your message so others can hear it. And start at the beginning of your journey. Don't presume that they already know what you know. Go back to how you felt and what you were doing at the very beginning of your journey before you learned what it is that you're now teaching or sharing. Speak to where they are and how they feel. For instance, if you're writing a book for newly divorced people, they're in pain. Acknowledge it and address that. If you're writing a book for brand new gardeners, you might have to remind them that they need gardening gloves or maybe some worms for their soil. Don't presume that anyone already knows everything or anything. Write it all out. Okay, get ready for your next writing assignment. This is where you're going to pause and write down your vision. Your vision for your book, for yourself, for getting your message out. And then write the message that relates to the vision. So what is the actual message in 2 or 3 sentences that you want to share? It might be that everyone can have access to food by learning how to grow, no matter who you are or where you are. Then write 10 keywords or phrases that connects your message to your perfect readers. All right, pause here and write for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long it takes. Aligning your message and your book results. Review this section and answer the question. Do you better understand how to write to your perfect audience? Are you meeting them where they are so they can understand your message? Writing your core message in your book in alignment means that you will speak to your perfect reader in a way no one else can, and you'll deliver your essential, unique story that they need to hear. All right, let's take a deep breath. You have accomplished so much already if you've gone through and done these exercises, because they will really help you stay connected to the purpose of who you are and who your reader is while you're writing your book. Now we're going to move on to our key area number 5. What is the purpose of your book? We want to start identifying how will the world see your book? How will the book serve you? How will it serve your readers? And what type of book will you write that is going to best deliver your core message with your perfect reader? It could be an inspirational book, a workbook, manual, how-to, a story with some nuggets of wisdom, maybe some call-outs or some things in shadow boxes, a memoir, your personal journey. All of these things are available to you. And now that you have connected with your reader and your message, you'll know better how to construct and design the message in a way that works for the book. If it's going to be a workbook with activities and exercises throughout chapters or at the end of the book, whether it'll be a how-to manual. Are you more of a mechanic archetype and you're going to be giving step-by-step instructions inside a specific structure? Start thinking about what type of book you're going to write. And then, of course, what version and format, all of this will become clear: hard copy, paperback, ebook, audiobook, so forth. Chances are you'll probably have a paperback and an ebook. And is your type of book the sort of book that really lends itself to also having a hard copy? Will you be writing a series? It's nice to know that up front. There's lots of articles about how to publish and market your book and many other courses out there. But if you know if it's going to be a series up front, there are some tricks and tips to getting your future readers engaged early on, knowing that it's going to be a series. And of course, you can write short form articles, blog posts, short Kindle books, and so forth to back up, to have other content that follows along with your book to support your premise or your message. Compilation book is a little bit more complicated. It's when several authors work with the same goal or message in mind. Maybe each author writes a chapter, or perhaps you co-author a book. A little more complicated, but if you're clear on your message and you're clear who your reader is, if you would like to work with another author, consider a compilation book where you're taking turns with different chapters or several other authors are contributing to the book. All right, we're going to get ready for another writing assignment. Here we go. You are writers after all. Okay, pause now, and using the checklist in the handout, select the type, version, and format of your book, and trust your first impulses. You can always add to this. You can always change this. Everything that you're doing in this course is blueprint, guidelines for you to move forward. But trust your first impulses because they will help you write and structure your book as you move forward. Okay, we're going to start talking about platform because this is the purpose of the book, how the book works for you, the reason to put the book out there into the world. But first, we have to talk for a minute about what platform is. So platform is what people see when they look for you, maybe when they Google you. They want to know, who are you? What do you stand for? What have you accomplished? Do you have a consistent message if they find you online? The things that you want to consider when you're creating your platform: is your branding consistent across social media, your website, YouTube videos, printed material, business card? Do you have a professional headshot that screams author? I got a new one taken for my last book. You'll see it at the end of this course. What's your tagline or your sound bite that you want to be known for? Some people call it an elevator pitch. This would be the one thing you want people to know about you, about your book. Mine is, you're already living your purpose. That's one of mine. I have several depending who I'm talking to. What colors are you using? Be consistent. And what is your voice? When I'm talking voice, I'm not talking about your speaking voice. I'm talking about your voice out there, your message. Is it consistent across everywhere online? Or are you sometimes talking about how great it is to be a soccer coach, and then another time talking about teaching piano, and then another time talking about your true mission of growing vegetables? You're allowed to have all these things going on in your life, but one of them needs to lead as your brand, as your message, as your vision, as your purpose. Some of what needs to be included in your platform is a really strong About Me section. And that's not your CV or your resume, but it's a short bio that is about you, what the book's about, why you're writing it, what else you've done, some credibility. It's maybe some personal things you want someone to know about you. On my bio, I say I was a foster mom, and I get loads of comments about that. I don't give details, I just say it. So we like to have something a little personal about you as the author. You also want to have an offer, a way to buy your book with testimonials about your book or reviews, and a way to contact you. So if they want to contact you for speaking engagement or another way to spread your message, there is a way to do that. So if I were to Google you, will I find these things? Then, of course, we've got video. And the common ways to do video right now are Zoom, Facebook Live, YouTube. Just make sure that if you're doing video, that it's consistent with your branding and you're using it to spread your message and to help market the book. Of course, you can blog. If you're a writer and writing is part of your purpose, it's part of how you spread your message, it's something you're passionate about, then blogging's a great thing to do. If you're writing this book solely to help get your message out, but you're hoping to do speaking engagements or podcasts or some other way to continue getting the message out, blogging can be a hard road for some people. So I would just encourage you to take a look at blogging from a objective standpoint before you jump in and see if that's really part of how you're going to promote the book and spread your message and your purpose. And of course, social media. Again, choose one or two. Don't try to be everywhere. You can't do them all well. So choose one or two great social media platforms. Bring your message into the social media. Make sure it's social and you're not just uh, shouting. I had a keynote speech I did a long time ago, about 10 years ago, that was called Shouting into the Void. You don't just want to be shouting out there about who you are and what you do. You want to connect in for a minute. How do you connect with people? How do you share your love? What is your purpose? It's the connection piece and the social piece you want to keep in the media so that you have an opportunity to connect with the people who need you, your potential readers. And of course, an email list. And just make sure that you have your email set up so that you can continue to connect with your readers after they buy and before they buy. And again, that's part of a marketing and launch strategy that you can find out more on some of the courses that deal with marketing and launching. Okay, here's your next writing assignment. Who are you? What do you stand for? What have you accomplished? And what platform tools are you going to use to share this information? Remember, we're talking about purpose being the way you share your love out into the world, the way you share your message out into the world. So keep that in the back of your mind as you go through this writing assignment. Pause anytime and start. So the real purpose of your book is to spread your message. You need a platform to help you do that. Even if you have a really good marketing strategy, or these days you're going to want some kind of online platform. You want to make sure the platform spreads your message. You want to make sure your book spreads your message. This is all part of your purpose working together. You're going to write your book to spread your purpose and your message. The online platform spreads your message and your purpose and helps promote the book. And that's true in human interaction as well, not just online. Same premise stands. And as I said, it's not the only way to spread your message. You're going to be doing all kinds of things. You're going to do readings in coffee shops and shake hands with movers and shakers and go to conferences, and however you are called to spread your message and share your book. Again, you want to use your book to promote the activities that support getting your message out to the people who need to hear it. All right, we have another writing exercise. Write a list of 10 ideas you have to promote your book and spread your message. Go! And the purpose of your book is to give you results. Your book is supposed to work for you, be a marketing piece that's out there, spreading seeds, helping get your work out into the world. Okay, so let's review how we aligned your purpose with your book. What is your purpose and core message? Now you know your personal purpose or more connected with it. Who needs your book? And that's the purpose for the reader. And how you align your message in your book, your purpose and your reader's purpose, where they meet. The purpose of your book, we just covered that. How your book will work for you. And why? Why does the world need your book? This pulls it all together. Everyone has a message to share. If you stay in touch with your purpose and why you want to write your book, it will help you get the book out. I've repeated that a lot because it's an important piece of really connecting with your audience energetically, planting seeds, understanding them, having it in your mind and your heart as you move forward. You want to know who needs your book? Part of the purpose of the book is to make sure it helps you get your message, your purpose, your vision out there into the world. So make sure that you use all the tools available. Find the ones that work well for you and stick with them. Don't try to do everything, but use enough of the tools that you're making a difference, and use them to market your book and allow it to fulfill its purpose. The book is there to help you. It's a tool. I hope you've enjoyed this course. I've got some bonuses for you on the next slide. I've really enjoyed going through this course with you, and I hope that you feel more connected to your purpose, your readers, and your book. I have some bonuses for you. I just want to go over those. The link is there, michellevandepass.com, author-course-bonuses. You're going to get a PDF on how to write your back cover. You have all the content you need now to write your back cover. So the PDF will take you through it, and you can just pull from the notes that you did today. You're also going to get a PDF on how to write a book that sells, that readers want to read. Same thing, you've done so much of that work already now. This PDF will help pull it together for you. They're both short. I think they're both just one-page templates. Then I invite you to take my other course from Booksellers University, which is how to outline your book in an hour. And on that course, I'm offering two bonuses. I took two of my clients through a process of outlining their books in an hour, and they graciously agreed to allow me to share those with you. And so I'm offering you those two videos to show you how the process works. I would love to hear from you. If you want information about consultations or how we can discuss working together, how I can support your book, please contact me at michellevandepass.com. I am so looking forward to reading your book. I want to remind you also to connect with me. You can find me on social media or reach out to my office, and all the details are on my website. Thanks for attending The Book and Your Purpose. See you on the next course.